Welcome back to Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, the Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab and our 2020 top of craft essentials. Now, I was laying in bed the other day and my husband had asked, what did I want for Christmas? And I typically will run off a list of things, verbally, obviously, of some craft supplies. But then I got to thinking, honestly, there's things that I've purchased that I use sporadically, but I don't use them as often as I use other things. And so that brought me to want to put together a quick list of some items that, maybe if you're a new crafter or if you are an avid crafter, you could add to your arsenal of craft supplies. Maybe replace some, or you might find them useful, or maybe you haven't seen them or heard about them at all. But I'm quite sure that if you've watched this video and you've been on my channel for quite some time, you've seen me use them and you've probably become familiar with them yourself. Anyways, so the first item that I would like to share with you is the glue stick. It is pretty much never a time that I sit down to create, especially with journals and paper crafting, that I'm not using a glue stick, especially the Elmer's glue stick. Now I usually use the larger size, this size here. I don't like this brand. But during the back to school event, they had these in packages of like 4 and 5 and 6. And so I purchased quite a few of those on sale. So again, the Elmer's glue sticks work best for me. They're also Avery ones. I like those as well. Those are at the Dollar Tree. Moving right along, staying in lines with adhesives. Score tape. Score tape I use especially when I'm using a thinner piece of scrapbook paper and I want to make sure that it's not lumpy and wet glue may be an issue. I'll use score tape, and I sometimes will use score tape with fabric just to hold it in place while I have a wet glue, or in combination with wet glue. Along with that, and this is not number 2, this is just in the group with it, the foam squares. You can also find the foam tape like this here at the Dollar Tree. They come in these sets of 3 different sizes. They're great for adding dimension to your craft projects, your card making, and all of that other stuff. Okay, so that was number 2. Moving on to number 3 would be the Tim Holtz ruler. What I have found that I like about this ruler is, let me show you this. So let's say this is a card that came back. Let's say that I wanted to find the center of this, or how wide this was, and also find the center. I like the fact that I can put this here, and if I look on both sides, I see a 3 here, I see a 3 there. If I want to find where the center is at, instead of folding it in half because that may damage my project, all I'd have to do is put this down, make sure that these are meeting up at the same spot on this piece of paper, and then I get a little pencil, make a marking right there, and there's my center. Okay, so not only that, but it has a great tear edge. So if you put your paper down underneath here, you can rip it very easily, and it's a clean rip. It's not as clean as scissors, but it's a pretty clean rip. I like that it's gridded. Okay, so you're familiar with this. I'm sure you have seen it before. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. Number 4, so that was number 3, would be this little scoreboard. I use this scoreboard quite often, especially if I'm making things like envelopes and I don't want to use my envelope punch board, or boxes, smaller projects, pages, things of that nature, when I need to score something, and and create, especially for like the journals, if I want that the seam, it's very easy for me to use, get to that place with the scoreboard. Oh Lord, my words is coming out faster than I can say them. Anyways, and I think I bought this from Tuesday Morning. This is a We Are Memory Keepers. It also has different instructions on the back, and it shows you how to make envelopes using this. I don't use this for this kind of envelope, I kind of just cheat and use my own way, but nevertheless, it also has some little embossing on the back. All right. So, and then they also have this, oh, good Lord, what is it called? Your, you guys know the word for it, and I'm sure I'll put it up in here somewhere because heaven forbid I actually know what I'm talking about as I'm actually talking about it. All right, so we got, that was number 4, right? Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move on to number 5. This is a freebie. Okay, everybody's got one of these, and if you don't have one and you're into paper crafting, shame on you. A gift card. Now, this is not so you can go to the store and buy more supplies. This is really just for smoothing out glue in between 2 sheets of paper and burnishing it down. It's free. I have to tell you because you probably have seen this gift card in a million of my videos. Well, I ain't got a million, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so if you're watching this and you're new to paper crafting, journal making, all that other stuff, save your gift cards because you'll need them. And this one needs to be clean because it's glue all over it. All right, so that was number, 5? 1, 2, 3. We're going to move on to number 6. All right, number 6 would be Scrapcraftastic's journal binding template. Now, this is cut out of one of the other pages, and this is not exactly how it looks. You'll have to, maybe I'll put a photo of her website up in here somewhere, but I have used this so often. I've had to print it a number of times on cardstock. This is a standard size that I use. I think this one is this is a little bit smaller, but this one is the one that I use most often. And what I end up doing is, it's great because when I am making a journal, when I'm done and it's time to bind it, I slide this into the journal cover and I make sure that I know where the center is, and I have these little holes here where I can put my pen through and make a little marking. Okay, then I take the set of pages and I do the same with that, and that way the holes will be the same amount of space from one another. I did pay for this kit. It was very inexpensive. I will drop a link below to her shop so that if you're interested in purchasing one of these, or if you're looking to get started on making your own journals and you need something to help you get started, like I could probably do it without the template, but I don't want to leave that to chance. Nobody needs me fumbling around, and actually I did do it one time without the template, and I ended up having to take the journal apart, but I was a little newer in it. Nevertheless, this is an amazing tool. Okay, next one up is Gesso. I have found that, especially with using recyclables and different inks and wet mediums, that it's important to secure your foundation of what you're layering on top of with a nice layer of Gesso. So you can go on Amazon and pick up some Gesso. You can get it from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. Actually, I got my last one from Walmart, or any of the other art supply stores. Depending on, I like the acrylic. I'm not sure if there's a different type, but this is a good size, and it's a good brand too. This Handy Art. I just have this plastic on top to keep it in case it spills. All right. The next one up is the Tim Holtz Distress Ink, the vintage photo. Now, the reason why I'm highlighting the vintage photo is because it is the one that I use the most often. Oh my gosh, the Runaway Distress or Blender. The reason why I am stressing the vintage photo is because this one you can pretty much use in any different color theme. They do have the tea stain, they have the soot, which is black, and a variety of different other colors. But I find that the vintage photo one is the one that I use most often. And so I went to go buy a replacement a larger size, and this is, I don't know how I managed to do this, but nevertheless I ended up with a abandoned coral, which I'll be happy to use. I'll be happy to use it. Anyways, so yes, if you want to start off with distressing or aging your pages and your paper and your projects, I would advise to start off with vintage photo or get the set that it comes in, the mini set. Okay. All right. Next up, which would be number 9, I think. Yeah. Would be the Guillotine Cutter. Now this is good only for 8.5 by 11, nothing bigger. In terms of 8, I think this is exactly 8.5. Yeah, this is about 9 inches wide. So this is great because you get a nice precision cut and it holds your paper in place once you push that down. And this is made by Fiskars. I've had this for about 7 years, I think. And the blade is still very sharp. I keep that out of the reach of the little guy because, you know, we don't want no accidents. The next, which I believe should be number 11, will be the thing that helps me stay calm while crafting, which is my Tazo Earl Grey tea. Have y'all ever had this tea? This tea is amazing. Black tea kissed with bergamot's lavender essence, and oh my heavenly father, it also has a caffeine level. It's a high caffeine level. I'm just saying, if you don't want to do coffee, you want to do tea, you can get some caffeine in here. But nevertheless, you guys know I'm a fan of lavender. All things lavender I'm with, you know. But I find that the warmth of the tea calms me while I'm crafting. I can sip it and sit and think for a second, gather my thoughts, and get back to that. Now, in the spirit of calming, and while we're already on that topic, essential for crafting is prayer. That's free, guys. You don't have to leave your home. You don't have to go to a store. You ain't buying it on Amazon. You cannot get it in a giveaway. It is free. How is prayer used as a craft essential for me? Let me tell you. Let me explain that. My motivation to create is to be a blessing to others in some capacity, whether it is through the artistry of or in the handcrafted artistry aspect of it, or whether it is through the functionality of what it is I'm creating. My whole purpose is to be of service through the gift of craft. And I don't want to take it upon myself to determine who should receive the blessing. I really honestly have to pray and ask for guidance to so that I know, or I have an idea. And it doesn't always come to me right at the moment that I'm praying. Sometimes I just, pray in the morning, Lord, guide me, show me what it is that I'm supposed to do for this day, direct my path, inspire me and encourage me to do what it is that you've willed for me for this day. And sometime throughout the day or the week or the next day, it'll come to me that a certain person may be going through something, or there's a wedding that's coming up, or a baby shower, or whatever the case might be. That is where I'm given the inspiration of who to create for. And sometimes I'm just creating on hand, and then at a later time, I'll pull from my stash to bless somebody. So prayer is probably my most essential craft tool, because without it, I am wandering aimlessly with a gift that God has given me to be a blessing to others. So anyways, I hope that you guys are able to use some of the items on the list, or that you were inspired by what to buy, what not to buy. But most importantly, I hope that 2020 has allowed you to see for yourself the things that you use the most, and some of the things that you don't need. And maybe that can be a blessing to someone else. Maybe we can, in 2021, begin to purge our homes and craft areas of the things that we don't use, that we are hoarding, and that could be a blessing to someone else. And by all means, feel free to reach out to me and let me know if you've got something that you're offering. Just kidding. Anyways, guys, listen. We're going to wrap up 2020 and we're going to head into 2021 with a ridiculous amount of encouragement and inspiration to create, to craft, to make, and to be a blessing to others. And until we're back here together on YouTube, guys, remember, wear your masks, wash your hands. That vaccine is not out amongst the public like that just yet. So continue to do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. And until we're back here, stay encouraged, stay blessed, and stay creative and crafting. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.